Back on BTN Live, and time to talk a little bit of hoops. Minnesota off to a great start under first-year head coach Richard Pitino, and we are pleased to welcome in the head coach of the Gophers now, who joins us from Minneapolis. And Coach, I want to get into this year's team in a moment, but it was announced yesterday that you will face your father's team, Louisville, in the Armed Forces Classic coming up at the beginning of next season. So, at the risk of looking ahead a little bit here, I know you've already been across from him on the sidelines once, but what's it going to be like when maybe the teams are a little bit more even than they were last time?
Yeah, it'll certainly be a little bit different with a Minnesota team than an FIU team. I mean, when we played there last year, it was a totally different game. Those are the type of games that you have to do to really, do it for your program, help financially. So it was a bit of a mismatch, certainly. This one will hopefully be a little bit more even than last year, but it'll be a great opportunity for our team to see where we're at early in the season.
Head coach of the Gophers, Richard Pitino, is with us. They play Friday night here on BTN against Nebraska Omaha, which apparently now prefers simply to be called Omaha. Before we look ahead to that game, you're 9-2 at this point. What has pleased you the most about this team?
Well, we've had two really good wins early in the season. Playing at Richmond was not an easy game, and we ended up holding them without a basket for 7.5 minutes, finished on a 19-0 run. Anytime you can do that on the road, that is something that you'll reference back a lot. We're proud of that effort. And then to come back home really from a tough Maui trip and play Florida State, one of the biggest teams in the country, and I believe will be a top 20 team when it's all said and done. To get that win was huge for our program. We still have a long way to go, a lot of things we got to get better at, but we look back at this non-conference and we've done a lot of good things.
You are known for being kind of a defensive wizard, and so much of what you want to do is premised on defense. How would you assess your team's defensive performance to this point?
Got a long way to go. I would say our offense is way ahead of our defense. We've just got to do a good job. You know, we will switch zone, man. We will do a lot of different things, different presses. But when it just comes down to getting in the half court, we need to stop. That's a weakness right now.
Richard, you replace a coach in Tubby Smith who's won a national championship. He certainly had some success at Minnesota, including last year when they won an NCAA tournament game. What's the expectation in your mind and in your sense of the administration's mind of what this program should be?
Well, following Coach Smith, you follow a guy who laid an unbelievable foundation for this program. It's not like we've taken over a disaster of a situation. He's left some pretty good players in this program, certainly with Andre and Austin Hollins and a couple other guys. We're just trying to build off of what he laid for us, that foundation. And it's going to take time. My expectations are really just play hard every single day, get better every single day. And if you do those things, if you do your job day in and day out, hopefully the rest will take care of itself.
You're 31 years old. You're not that much older than some of your oldest players. How does that impact your coaching style?
Well, growing up, or when I was young in this business as an assistant coach at the University of Louisville, I was maybe a year or two older than the players. I had to find different ways to motivate the guys, gain their respect, get their attention. I still kind of do those things to this day. I try to relate to them in little ways as much as possible, and there's certainly a fine line between player and a coach. But I don't try to hide from being 31 years old. I don't try to act like I'm this old veteran. I understand who I am. I try to get better every single day. They help me just as much as I help them. And I tell them all the time, don't do this for me. Let's do this together.
How much have you been able to assess the rest of the league to this point?
The thing that's so great about the Big Ten, there's unbelievably stable programs. Top to bottom, the stability in this conference is better than any other conference, which means night in and night out, you're going to get a great, a well-run program, great home court advantages. So you have to be on your game every single night.
Richard Pitino, looking forward to seeing the Gophers game tomorrow night against Omaha right here on BTN. Thanks for taking a few minutes to speak with us on BTN Live, Coach.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.